We are at Donna's house, and John just got done doing a walkthrough, and like always, he was spot on. And Donna, could you give us a little bit about how you're amazed with John?
I am. I'm really amazed that my bird, Baron, gave him the names of my grandchildren and
Mr. Loudbird.
Yes, Mr. Loudbird, my angry child.
Very cute, and I don't like birds. We were just talking about that on our way up. I'm not a fan of birds.
And could you tell us your story about what happened and the sadness and...
Okay, I'll try it without crying.
Yeah.
My son Christopher, who is my third child, him and his wife were in Maryland. He worked at D.C. for Corps of Engineers, and they'd been gone a year, and they wanted to come back to California. And he was 30, Diana was 28, and Sam was 3, Connor was 2, and Diana was pregnant with Ethan. She was 7.5 months along with Ethan. And they were traveling. They got up at 5 o'clock that morning. They loaded up the babies. They were asleep in their car seats. And there had been an accident in Potts, Nebraska. So they were 0.8 miles from the main accident. And a trucker came up behind Christopher at 75 miles an hour, didn't slow down, didn't stop, slammed into my son, and he was pushed into Diana and the babies, and she was pushed into the semi in front of her, and the cars exploded. And also along with them were the 2 dogs and their 1 cat were in the car also. So.
And did John come up, did he pretty much get it spot on when he was going through the house and telling you what he was feeling? And
Yes, he did, and he really got even more when we started walking through the memorial for my grandbabies. He looked at the headlights over there, and he said that was the last thing that Christopher saw in his rearview mirror was the headlights, and that would have been what Chris saw. And then he had a nice conversation with Baron, my Moluccan, and Baron told him the babies' names.
It's a very talkative bird. I mean, he literally talks. It's crazy that a bird can talk. I would be out there all the time chit-chatting with that bird.
Anytime you want to come over, you can talk. You can talk to him.
It was really kind of cool. I've never had a bird that can have a conversation with you.
Wow. And he talked in like a monotone sound. Like Gary said, it sounded like he was talking in tongues.
But you could understand him?
You can go out there and talk to him, and he talks like in a deep voice, like you were having a conversation.
have you ever picked up on animals before?
No, I'm not an animal person.
But you picked up on him?
Well, we were out there because when we were over here, he just kind of seemed like he was really trying to get our attention. I mean, he was screaming. And so we walked out there, and I just said, I'm not going to get close because I know you will bite me. And he just walked his little way right over to where I was and just started talking.
What kind of bird was it?
He's a Moluccan cockatoo.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so kind of cool. I really would take him.
Except that he would try to kill you.
Yeah.
He doesn't like
men.
men.
I could tell that, he would have definitely bit me. But yeah, he just came right up to where I was and had a chit chat. And normally an investigation, or I don't do the whole investigation thing. I usually just do my walkthrough and that's about it. They don't usually take this long. But with this one, I think we were dealing with a little bit more people because there's a total of 5 people, so it just seemed to take a little bit longer than normal. And it just seemed like it took a longer time too because when we would get to spots, that would have been, like for the kids over here, I would pick up a little bit more. But the names took a while for them to come. Diana's name
Was
the hardest for me to get. It was like that name was not coming without a fight. So, but when I first walked in, my knees were knocking. My knees were knocking, and it was really a lot of energy in there, and I was drawn to the flag that was on the wall. And I immediately was just like, okay, it's not the house. It's has to do with you. So
And their ashes are there all together in that urn.
I didn't even see an urn in there.
It's right next to the flag.
I didn't see it either.
I'll have to go say hi. But yeah, and then I just talk, and I'm really sorry I don't remember your guys' name. I'm really bad.
Jerry
with
and
names.
Donna.
Gary
And then Robert.
and Gary.
Robert.
Or I said Jerry.
Robert, okay, Gary, Donna, and Robert.
Right.
So, yeah, it was just a lot of really sad information, and then just to, get pieces of it as we were walking was just a lot to take in. Maybe that's why it took so long, because maybe hitting me all at once with everything would have probably, took me in.
Your
'Cause
knees would have buckled.
Yeah, because in her bedroom I had to sit down, and my knees were knocking, and so I think that's probably why this one took so long. Is it was just too much. It would have been too much to take in all at once. But it was nice, a very sweet family. And then Diana's dad, his sister came through, and she passed.
She died of cancer early
Okay.
April, and then Nancy, Diana's mother's brother, was killed on coming out of what's that freeway? Rockland area. No, it was it was at Auburn, going down Highway 49, going to work.
Okay,
He
so
was
that-
killed like a week later.
That was the one after another that you said?
No, what it was one after another was I couldn't see the accident of what was happening. I could just pick up from what her son was telling me that it wasn't just one accident. It was boom, boom, boom.
But during the time when you talked about Brad, and you said he had two losses
Yeah.
right away.
So
Yeah.
that's who it
That
would have been,
yeah,
was
it
those two.
Nancy's brother and his sister.
Okay, and then Tracy, really, she's got a really good attachment with Brad. It seemed like they were really close.
They were very close.
And she said to make sure that you let him know, that number one, she appreciated everything that he had done for her, and to mention her hair. You remember her blonde hair, so
She was very vain. He used to give her a bad time because she was losing her hair with all the chemo and stuff.
It all grew back.
but it was nice. It's a lot of information, It took a while to figure out the third son, because it took a long time to realize, because I was seeing him, as little, but not, I kept getting kind of mixed messages, like, he's little, but when all of this happened, he wasn't little, so I was getting confused, and that's because he was not born yet.
Right.
He was 7 months. She was 7 months pregnant when he was passed away. So, but it's it's a lot. So, the little ones will probably be around a lot more. I had my talk. Like I said, I can't guarantee you that they're gonna go. If you still have a hard time with letting Chris go, he's not, he'll still kind of struggle with that. But like I said, once they go doesn't mean they're always gone,
That's good to know.
They check in.
yeah.
Come and go.
Then the anniversary, we picked up I couldn't tell if what type of anniversary it was that was coming up. until afterwards. She mentioned that it's the anniversary in September of their passing. So,
Yeah, September 9th, 2012. So every 3 years.
they'll be here on the hard days. You know. And is there anything in April?
April 30th, Christopher would have been 34.
Okay. April is
It's his birthday.
okay. He'll be back in April too, so.
It's good to know.
It's just, that's the way it comes. I'm sorry that I took your guys' investigation. I mean, you guys are still gonna investigate, but sorry it took this long. Normally it doesn't take this long for me to do.
Well, we were getting closure for her, and that's why we're here. That for you.
Yes.
We're not. Oh, I want to hurry up and try to do a ghost hunt. We're here for you,
Yes.
and hopefully, John
Well,
made you feel much better.
Oh, yeah.
I
yeah.
would
Awesome.
definitely try some EVPs, because there's always a possibility that he's going to use that to relay a message to you.
Mhm.
So I would definitely, if anything, do some EVPs.
Or dowsing rods.
Jerry loves the dowsing rods.
I used to hate them. I like them now.
For the little kids, you probably either find them in the front room with the dog toys. I'm going to assume those are dog toys. Not out with the birds. The furthest I would probably go out would be where you have the little statues. The little ones are probably a little shy, so I'd probably do it maybe one or two. I wouldn't do it like as a, for the little ones, probably just maybe like one or two of you guys.
And the living room or the master?
The living room would be, as far as the kids go, it's the living room or it's out here. It's really nowhere else. For Christopher, immediately, where I picked him up was where the flag was. And I guess his remains are in there. So,
A little piece of what we did is we all got little, actually Robert bought them for us, little urns, and we took a piece of each one of them and put them in. So all the siblings have part of the family, and then I have part of the family.
but you probably have an easier time, like, getting anything if it's just two of you together versus a group. So otherwise it'll just be too much and they'll go their own little ways, until you guys leave, and then of course they'll reconvene. So yeah, two at a time, if you all take a room, two to a room, you probably have a better chance. But you probably have a better chance over any of them is with the three little kids. Because, especially the oldest one, Sam, is a talker. 'Cause
So it was Sam and Connor.
it's Sam. The only way I could say it is Sam, Connor, and Ethan.
Okay.
Because the only way I could get the mom's name was through Sam. Because nobody else was helping me out. So he spilled the beans. And it took me forever to get her name. So, yeah. So he's the one. He's your go-to guy, is Sam.
Yeah, Christopher was a jokester. He liked to play jokes.
I talk about kindergarten because Sam did mention that he could go to kindergarten now. So
Yeah, 'cause he would be fine.
yeah, so if you talk about kindergarten, you probably have a better chance of.
This is the year he would be going to school. Because his birthday was December 19th, so he would have to wait until almost 6 before he go to school. So they still make him wait in heaven to go to school.
So I don't know, but I mean, I would, if I would be more than happy to keep open for him. If he's got something. I feel bad because there was a friend of yours I was talking to. She had called me,
Melissa.
and
She waited till the 25th. She was all excited to call you.
Yeah, and
And-
can you let her know that I'm not done with her? Just
Yeah.
when all that came around, I started getting sick,
Mhm.
and I also just started my new job. So
Okay, I'll tell her.
let her know that I'm not done with her. That I'll be more than happy to help her out.
Okay.
So, and on these days that are going to come up, just get a hold of Sherry. I'm more than happy to see what I can do.
Okay.
It's a cute family. It's really kind of odd because it's like there's an odd man out. It's like dark hair, blonde hair. Does that make sense to you? Like one of the little boys?
Yeah, Connor had blonde hair.
Okay.
I don't know what color Ethan would have had, so maybe he would have been dark.
Yeah, it's
Sam
dark hair,
had dark
blonde hair. Okay. I love the little kids. They're always the best. So, but, well, it was fun.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was fun. Now, hopefully I can
Like
find
always,
out
you were
how-
the best. Just right on.
It's really easy. I really like working with Sherry because, I worked with, I don't know if you guys know